going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. And some of you can probably guess by that little video at the beginning here. So we are back on the Crosskart. Now, let me show you what I got. Basically, I just drew out a pattern. This is 1/8 inch by 3 inch flat steel there. And I just drew out a pattern so we can mount our bearing up in here. Start fabricating up a steering column for this thing. So you can see I've already got it tack welded here on a piece of 1 1/4 square tubing. I've got another piece right here already cut. So I got to get that one back out here. As you can see here, I've just got it held up with a clamp. We're gonna take that out, get it over on the table, get this other piece tack welded up. That way I can find the angles, get it clamped back in here, double check our distance for the steering wheel, see how it fits, see how I like it. And once we get that set up, then I'm going to go ahead and start making our steering shaft from the steering wheel to the steering rack. So let's go ahead and get that piece back out and get her tack welded up. All right, so as you guys saw in the little video there, we got everything pretty much mocked up and tack welded into place. Got a little steering wheel here. I'm definitely happy with where it fits in relation to where I sit in the seat. Feel pretty comfortable. I will have to make some modifications to the seats though. Like these guys are stick up a little too high and kind of interfere with my elbows and turning. So we'll just probably trim a little bit of that off. Definitely gonna take some of this off as well to give my legs a little more room to move. But other than that, I'm comfortable. I'm happy where the steering wheel placement is. Also saw in the video there too, I made a couple of these down bars. That way it ties that whole column together. Makes everything stronger and gives me more options for mounting here in the future. Like when we start getting close, I got a good spot to mount a panel here. Well, it's for either a gauge, kill switch, power. Something that I can reach pretty easily, even being strapped into the seat. I don't have to go reaching for anything, unless it's just like right there. So yeah, that's where we're at with the column. Most of it's gonna get boxed in too, but right now, we're gonna leave all that open. That way I can finish mocking everything up. I got the room in there. We're gonna have either, probably have some cables, some linkage for our brakes, throttle, stuff like that. Once all that's done, then I'll go ahead and make panels to cover most of that up, plus make a neat little make another panel for the top of that column. Modify our little cluster here too, gives it a nice spot to mount that guy as well. So like I said, plenty of options for mounting. But before I can do all that, and we've got this thing mocked up, or our steering wheel mocked up, our column, here's what we got. So now that we got all that sitting where I want it, now we have to go ahead and make our steering shaft. As you can see here, I got I got a U-joint mounted up to our steering shaft there, and another U-joint mounted up to our steering rack down here. And basically those ends were cut off one of these universal style steering shafts. I think they're pretty much the same across all the aftermarket little side-by-side buggies. This one was off of Carter Brothers, which I don't think they make anymore. I'm pretty sure they don't make anymore, but it came in with a bunch of parts that was given to me a while ago by a friend of mine that has helped me build a lot of stuff on this buggy. But anyways, what I done is I took one of these shafts here. Like I said, I measured down probably roughly 3/4 of an inch, cut it off each end, mounted it to our rack and our steering column there. Now you want to pay attention if you're doing something like I am. You see like this joint here straight up and down with the camera, and this one is level. So if you're going to do something like I'm doing with this, it lengthens these things. Pay attention to the orientation, because if you get it off, it will bind up and cause a lot of premature wear. I'm sure you could probably have them level with each other as well. I mean, drive shafts are built the same way, and this is not going to take as much abuse, but just to keep it simple, just keep it orientated the same way you cut it apart. That way there's no questions, or you know it's going to work. But anyways, like I said, I cut each one of those ends off about 3/4 of an inch down. Cleaned it all up. Now I'm going to take a measurement from center to center and cut it out of a piece of 5/8 round stock that I picked up from my local Atwoods. Now, I'm pretty sure you can get it at Atwoods, Tractor Supply, Lowe's, Home Depot in their little steel or hardware section. I've been to each one of those and they all have the same kind of hardware section, so pretty sure you can get that anywhere. But we're going to take our measurement, cut it out of that round bar there, get it fitted up there, make sure everything's good. And then what I'm going to do is, once I like the fitment, I'm going to go ahead and slide these guys over that 5/8 bar before tack welding them onto our joints. Get everything fit up the way I want, then slide these over each end where I've got it welded. So basically, once we get the bar set into place, this will slide back up that bar over here, be welded on this end and this end as well. Basically, probably more than doubling the strength of my weld spots, which might be a little overkill, but a lot of this is just for me to practice. So the more practice I get, the better I get. But anyways, enough talking about it. I'm gonna go ahead and get myself set up, get the measurement for that bar, get it tack welded into place, and then go over again what I did for with these guys. All right, steering shaft's all mocked up and tack welded together. Let me show you what we got. So here's what it looks like out of the buggy. And what I did is, after we cut this piece out, I went ahead and took it to the belt sander, and we beveled both sides of this bar and each one of these joints. Now my plan is to use the TIG welder, fill in this whole area here, clean it up a lot like I did where we tack welded it. Once that's cleaned up, we're going to take our sleeves, slide it over each joint, and then fully weld all the way around. Basically more than doubling the strength of our welded joints. And that really is just in case we're out having fun and something hits the wheel, it doesn't want to, and jerks, it doesn't want to break where we welded. So, like I said earlier, might be overkill, might not be, but better safe than sorry. So now I'll get the TIG welder hooked up to it, finish welding this piece out, get it reinstalled in the buggy, and see how it does. All right, look who decided to show up. Say hi, Seth.
Hello.
So, show you what we got. Our steering shaft is all welded up. Our little couplers are slid into place and welded up as well. As you can see, the steering shaft is installed. And for those of you that have been following me from the beginning, especially when I first started TIG welding, you can see that I am getting much better. Practice, practice, practice is what they say. But it's all welded up. See what we got here. Wheels are turning. Now I still got a little bit of buttoning up to do on the steering shaft. I actually have to go and get another bearing to put in this place. I'll have a bearing here and here with another collar to help keep everything together. And I gotta tighten the U-joints, the bolts in the U-joints there, because they're just sitting in place. But other than that, pretty much done. So now we've got the steering column basically mocked up, tacked into place. Got our steering shaft made, so now everything's connected up front. Before I end this video, I want to do one last thing. I know I need to start figuring out my plenum for the back here for the turbo. I still have to order a couple parts, but what I'm going to try to do is make a base. Seth's going to do some videoing for me. Get on over here, Seth.
Right.
Where are you? There he is. So, there you go, bud. There you go. Blocking the camera. So, what I'm going to do, you want to come on over here, Seth? I've got a bunch of little cardboard pieces sitting right here. This is kind of the base width I want. This is 4 inches. I've already gone ahead and marked out a 2-inch center. And I've marked out a 3/4 inch line because that's about how far from the edge I want our throttle body or the circles to start. And once I figure out where this is going to sit and the distance, then I'll go ahead and measure and cut the excess off. But see here too, I got a piece of paper, nothing fancy. Go ahead and cut its 4-inch width as well. Fold it in half to give me my 2-inch center. Now, some of you might know this from from art class. If you've ever taken like a piece of chalk and a leaf, basically just get your fingers dirty real quick. Now I've measured from here, from this edge to this edge, so that's exactly what this piece is. We're going to line it up in the center of our throttle body blades. Let's go this way though. So there's that edge of that throttle body blade. Come on over here to this edge. Oops. Line it up with the throttle body edge. Right there. Line this one up right there. Use my fingers to kind of hold it in place. Now you can take your dirty fingers and rub the edge of each one of your little valve or your throttle bodies there. And that will help get you, whoops, let's do these real quick, I got better. But this will help get you the outside edge of where your throttle bodies are sitting. If you got dirt on your fingers, that's why I wipe the floor first. You got dirt on your fingers. Or if you want, you can use chalk too, like we did in art class. But sometimes I'm not very patient. And you can find all these distances and measurements and all that stuff by using your tape measure and ruler and doing a bunch of math and stuff. But figured this is like the simplest way to do so. Oops. Make sure that's still lined up. Good, good, good. All the way out to the edge. So, there's our throttle bodies there. There's the distance in between each one. Now what I'm going to do is come on over here. I'm also going to do another little cheat. Grab our little digital caliper. Come on over here, Seth. So, we'll do an inch fractions there. Make sure it's on 0. Open it up and just measure the outside edge. Like, this is rough estimate, so you don't, doesn't have to be 100%, but outside edge to outside edge. Find your... So there's our number. So you guys can see there, 1 and 31/32. If I sneeze, they would turn into 2 inches. So half of 2 inches, you guys know, is 1. We'll go ahead and take this out, make sure it's 0. Open it all the way up to 1 inch. Yep, taking me forever, I know. 1 inch is half the distance of that outside diameter. Go ahead and lock it into place. Here's another thing you guys may have seen in art class. Just line your edges up here. Sure everything lines up. Boom. That's it. Once you got that set, find the outside part of your circle here and just sweep. Once you got that sweep, come on over here to your other line. Do another sweep. And after a couple times, you'll start seeing a pattern. But there's your center of that circle. And basically repeat it on all of those. Once you find your center, line it up where you want and just poke through. It will. Get that lined up there real quick. Transfer. There's the center of that throttle body right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish tracing all these out real quick. Get them transferred over into our little cardboard piece. So give me 1 second. And, well, there you go. There's the starting of our base for our plenum. Show you here. As you can see, my 4-inch now has turned into a 3-inch base. Once I got the, these are the factory rubber boots that go into the factory airbox for this engine. All I did was cut these little air horns off because I figured we're not going to need them anymore. But once I got these little boots installed on this cardboard, got it sat down, then I had to do some trimming to clear all these injector clips or injector plugs. And of course I want it to be somewhat the same on both sides, so I took the same amount off the other side there, which made our 4-inch base a 3-inch base. But now I've got a nice square base to start with. It lines up really well with all our throttle bodies. And then I just start using little pieces of cardboard to, as you can see here, I already got this side lined up, tape on that edge. We're going to do the same to this one. Line it up there. I've already got it trimmed to the same length. We'll put tape to hold it there as well. And then I can move it to find my angle. Once that angle is found, I can use another piece of cardboard on the back side there to record that angle. Of course, cut that piece and basically help me find all my angles and just use tape to hold everything together. And once I figured out my plenum design and how I want to do this, I can go ahead and take that back off, leave most of those pieces taped together, undo it, lay it out flat on a sheet of aluminum, and everywhere I've got tape is a line I can draw to either make a relief cut to help bend it, or if I have a brake, I can use a brake to bend it. But I don't have a brake. I use a cut-off wheel. Just go down the edge there. It gives me a relief cut so I can fold it in the shape that I want. But like I said, though, too, I'm still waiting on some parts. I still got some intercooler piping I need to order. And I've also got the smaller water-to-air intercooler I need to order as well. So before I go too crazy on that plenum, I'm waiting for those pieces to come in. But that's where I'm at. I'm going to go ahead and end this video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you are new and you've made it this far, please hit that subscribe button for me. Definitely hit that like button. Helps with the YouTube algorithm and definitely helps me grow. Again, you guys, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. Definitely hope this helps you guys on some of your builds as well. Like I said, there's a lot of ideas. Try to share what I know. But anyways, thank you guys for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next one.